Hello gamers, it's me, LifeSpeller79. It's my show. Glad to be back. I just wanted to talk about a few things. First, wanted to give a shout out to all the new subscribers that have subscribed to my channel. At this point, I'm closing in on 250 subscribers. Not an easy thing to do, but it's been worth the trip. I've enjoyed each video, each time I've gotten the opportunity to get in front of the camera. So thank you. Thank you to those who liked, comment, subscribed, retweeted, passed the message out through Facebook, all kinds of little interludes or anyways, sites, whatever. In this video, I wanted to talk about sequels that I liked more than the original. I was just going through my collection and I just saw a bunch of games and I was sitting there playing and I was just thinking about, I said, you know, sequels always get a bad rep because usually it's a sophomore, you know, usually all the originals get all the accolades and all the love and everything. But I started thinking about all the games that are out there that are sequels that are far much better than the original. Because without the sequel, or without the original, we wouldn't have the sequel. But at the same time, the sequel also continued the legacy of the franchise or the series. You know, after that, more games kept coming out because of that. Some that I'm going to mention today brought forth other things that showed the potential, because most production or game developers get an opportunity to go back to the drawing board, reassess everything they did, and get an opportunity to try and do something different or new that they didn't get to do with the first attempt. Now, sequels don't always succeed, because I have honorable mentions like I would have mentioned Max Payne because I like Max Payne 1, but Max Payne 2 was terrible. So, you know, there's games that I love, but also just wanted to talk about the whole YouTube thing. I just got wind of it like last week with the whole new content ID. Actually, the ironic thing is one of my good friends, Twitter buddies, she had told me about this last year, probably midpoint last year. She said this was going to happen. She said they're going to start coming down on all the let's play videos, and they're going to be real strict about everything. So I don't know how it's going to affect me, since I just talk about games that I pick up. As you can see, I don't hardly ever release any videos or anything like that with game content in it, or anything. I'm just going to wait till the dust settles and see what happens with the whole YouTube thing. But anyway, let me get started. First game that I got is Sonic 2. This actually is a Sonic Classic. It's got 1, 2, and I think the egg game or something like that. The Robotnik egg game on there. But Sonic 2, hands down, out of the series, franchise, whatever you want to call it, is my favorite. Mainly because supersonic. Then being able to do the spin without having to run fast enough in order to create the spin, it was just a step up from the original. There's a lot to appreciate with this release of the sequel. I beat this game I don't know how many times. I actually have this on several of my platforms. I have it on or several of my consoles. I have it on my PS3, Sega Genesis, probably a couple times over. I even have it on my cell phone. So yeah, definitely one of the games that I'm proud of. Next game that I wanted to talk about was let's see here, it's Double Dragon 2. The original, I liked it, but the actually the sequel, I used to play at the arcades a lot more. And if anybody remembers the secret elbow, pretty much like an elbow hit was like the secret trick to playing the game, to beating the game, to conquering the game. But then when we finally got it on the home console and you could play 2 players, I thought it was pretty cool. So I was glad to add it to my collection as a kid and then re-add it to my collection as an adult. And that's like I said, Double Dragon 2, which I have. I've conquered this game on the arcade and at home. It's a little harder at home, but yeah, definitely love the game. Next game, out of the first 3 Marios, my favorite Mario is Mario 2, even though some people say it's a port. It's a Japanese version and it's not really an actual Mario Brothers release, but Mario 2 is my favorite, mainly because you get to use Princess, Mario, Luigi, and Toadstool, and it's kind of a tie for me between Mario and Luigi, or Mario and Toadstool. I actually like utilizing both characters. I liked it because it was different. I mean, I never seen anything where you could pick up and throw something at somebody rather than already having um, machines or a gun or something already. I mean, you could use the environment, and then I like the little secret stages where you drop down the potions and stuff. So yeah, and then at the end with the casino pulling the lever in order to get additional men, I thought that was really cool. So yeah, Super Mario Brothers 2 is my favorite out of the three. Now Super Mario World is actually probably one of my favorite Marios out of all the Marios. And next game, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm a big Mega Man 2 fan. Got an opportunity to play Mega Man 1. It was hard as hell, but it was still fun. But Mega Man 2, I have to say, each level I enjoyed to the fullest from beginning to end. The soundtrack is mesmerizing. The characters, the gameplay, every aspect just oozes greatness, and it will forever be one of the classics to me, and it's my favorite NES game of all time. But this definitely, the original in comparison did not match with Mega Man 2. And a lot of other people beg differ. You know, some people love Mega Man 3 or some like Mega Man 6, but without a Mega Man 2, we would have never continued the franchise. We would never continue the series. So Mega Man 2 gets a lot of love from me, and that's another one of the games that I've probably played. I can't even count how many times. I've been playing it since I was about 11 or 12, so I've probably been playing it more than 20 plus years. The next game that I wanted to talk about was Mortal Kombat 2. I actually have it on my Super NES and my Sega Genesis, and actually here it is. Mortal Kombat 2 has to be my favorite, or close to my favorite, out of the series. Besides the last one, if I had to choose, I would say Mortal Kombat 2 because I put more hours, more time. My favorite character would have to be a tie between Katana and Sub-Zero, because usually I know how to use their powers and their fatalities. I think it took the franchise to another level. I think it far surpassed the first one. I love Mortal Kombat 2. I love the combat. I love the online gameplay that they now have added on. This is another game that I bought many times over. Like I said, I have it on my Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, my PS3. I bought it twice on my PS3 because I bought the Mortal Kombat 2 years ago when it first came out. Played it online, loved it, and then I bought the I think it was like the Mega Man, or I Mega Man, but Mortal Kombat, like a trilogy, almost like a trilogy where they had Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. I bought it then again, just to go show how much I loved it. But yeah, I loved all the fatalities, very gruesome. They took it all to another level. The babalities, the friendships, the pits and stuff like that. Every aspect of this game, and I still to this day go back and play it, whether it be on my emulator, my Super Nintendo, whatever. But I love playing this game. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 2, another sequel that I definitely enjoyed. The next game that I got is Donkey Kong Country 2. Actually, Donkey Kong 1 was fun, and it did do a lot of things that I never thought it would be able to do. The two-player aspect, the just the environments, the continues. I like that you can continue to play, and it wouldn't be a game over and then you have to start all over again. But what I liked about Donkey Kong 2 is that they added in Dixie and then doing like the co-op thing, and I think it just took the gameplay to another level. Like I'm saying, I think that's what I like about sequels that actually work, that they actually bring the franchise up or bring the series up to another level. So Donkey Kong 2 is definitely one of my favorites out of the three that came on the SNES. Then next, we move towards the current gen. most people like the scare factor of this series, and they love the original more than the sequel. But for me, the sequel did it best, and that is Dead Space 2. I like the upgrade, the aspects of his suits, his weapons, everything. I mean, all of it changed. I like to, I don't know, it seemed like the scare factor went up a notch for me. And, I haven't played 3 yet. I'll play 3, but if I had to choose, I definitely love this one more. An honorable mention that I'm thinking of right now, just because I brought that up, is Bioshock 2. Bioshock 1 was awesome, but Bioshock 2, for some reason, it turned it up a notch for me. Um, I did like the continuation of going through the water and being on the ship and all that, or being in it, being back in that environment again, being able to switch up and be the big daddy and stuff like that. But yeah, Dead Space 2, it seemed like it turned it up a notch for me, and I'll never forget that game. The next game is Uncharted 2. I liked Uncharted not just because of the graphics, but I'm the type of person, I love stories. I love platforms. I love single player games. I love changing of climates and elements, and deeply investing you into the game, wanting you to figure out what's going to happen in the next chapter or the next thing, and all those elements wrapped up into one. And that's pretty much what I got out of Uncharted 2. I liked 1 because it introduced you to a new character. I always like new IPs that work out, and but 2 definitely brought it up. And a lot of people even say to this day that 2 is better than all 3 of them. We'll see what happens with 4. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. And then the next game that I have is Assassin's Creed 2. I like Assassin's Creed 2 because it wasn't repetitive or as repetitive as Part 1. Part 1 was nice because it was something different. It was something I thought was really interesting. It actually got me interested in the PS3, and it made me want to buy it, even though it came out on multiple platforms. But Assassin's Creed 2, I loved it with Ezio and the whole Renaissance period and the characters, the drawings, the storyline, the kills, of course, and just being skillful. And it made you, I think it made me enhance myself as a gamer. It made me take it to another level, to think harder, to strategize on how I would be able to do a complete assassination. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites out of the series. I like Brotherhood, Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, and I don't care too much for 4. But if I had to go back, I definitely love this sequel. So glad that I got to add that to my collection. And another game that I have that I'm glad that I got to add to my collection, and a sequel, Mass Effect 2. I actually didn't like RPGs probably about 2-3 years ago. I couldn't care for them. I didn't like them. I didn't like the strategizing of the having to wait to attack. And now I understand that the reason why I fell in love with Mass Effect 2 was the storyline, of course, but I like the art of storytelling, but I also like the mixture of the RPG aspect, but then also the third person shooter, because I like third person shooter games more than first person shooters. It's slowly grown on me, but I like being able to go get all your characters together to attack for a good cause. So it's like you're going to all these different planets and you're picking up all these different characters, different backgrounds, and how your storyline plays out based off your actions, your choices that you make, and everything. And Commander Shepard was just awesome in this game. I loved it more than I have all 3, but I love 2 more than 1 and 3, and it's always going to be one of my games. And this is probably the first game that I really invested a lot of time into. I think I put about 40-50 hours like into this game. I never put that many hours just in one game, usually about 8 to 10 hours, because that's all it takes to complete a game, and you're done. And then the last game that I feel like brought me into the franchise and made me more interested was Saints Row 2. I liked it because it had a small aspect of, or a little inkling of GTA, but I liked that it branched off and set itself out there by itself as its own independent kind of thing. You know, the goofiness, the nonstop humor, the crazy violent kills and stuff like that, and all the characters that were in that storyline. So yeah, Saints Row 2 is my double pack. It's got Saints Row 1 and 2 in it, but Saints Row 2 made me interested in the franchise and made me want to go back, get 1, and then also get 3 and 4, and now I'm really interested in what's going to happen next. But yeah, those are all my sequels that I love more than the original. Tell me what your sequels are that you love more than the original, and also tell me what games you're currently playing. Right now, I'm playing a little bit of Street Fighter 2 on my Sega Genesis. I'm trying to finish up Darksiders 2 because I actually picked that up before I had got GTA 5, and I'm playing through that right now. And I'll probably switch over to Ni no Kuni when I get a little downtime. I've also been playing a little bit of Skyrim, trying to pick up where my save progress at. So right now, those are my sequels that I love more than my original. Tell me what your games are. I'm LifeSpiller79, and I'm out.